Kenji, you bitch lord. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kenji is a Bitch Lord Shoujo. I look around for a chair, but I can't find one because we're in a goddamn hallway. I raise a finger and start thinking maybe I should tell him that. He's already started talking. I want him to waste the arm movement. I look at my watch instead. It would have been a real reign of terror had it happened. Wait, you're judging her based on something that didn't even happen? Yes. Anyway, her idea was like merit badges, but they're also demerit badges. What would those do? I don't know. It never happened. It seemed bad, though, so when I heard about it, I didn't leave my room for a few weeks. So you heard about there would be a massive change, and you hid in your room trying to just ride the change out. Nah, I just had to do something about it. I found a student council office after a while, and I marched right in there with lists of demands and a bunch of people I grabbed in order to make myself look like I had supporters. Whereas not only did it not happen, but no one even cared. Kenji doesn't hear me, having got a good momentum going. Wrapped in the energy of his own ranting, he starts to completely flip out and flail his arms, appearing to wildly throw gang signs. I walked up to the desk and said to her, "Hey, you fascist woman! What is this badge idea? How out of touch can you be, here in your ivory tower, smugly looking down like we're just a bunch of idiots? Who do you think you are? And do not touch my formula! Your level of elitism is so terrible, you're probably one of those outrageous rich people who have chauffeurs drive them around the slums so they can point and laugh." Oh my god, Kenji, you're a fucking idiot. I only drink pricey coffee beans shot out by the last living dinosaur and brewed in a solid gold. Ooh, actually sounds pretty nice. And how could you go up and... Da-da-da-da. They can take our things, but they never take our freedom! To appeal to the masses like a movie of the life of William Wallace, where they took his things when his freedom, and then they killed him. Then she just ignored me and didn't even look up from writing in her little paper shit. Maybe I overwhelmed her with my logic so badly she just retreated into denial. Maybe she's just an asshole. Either way, she didn't reply, and the future refused to change. To top it off, on the way back, I realized I lost my student ID somewhere. This was the story of my life, a constant, seemingly futile struggle, like trying to climb up a brick wall with sponges for hands. You said nothing changed, but she didn't make everyone wear a bunch of stupid badges, so it did change. Yeah, that's true. Okay, maybe they're not so bad then. I guess that counts for something, if I can get Kenji to admit that maybe two women may not be so bad after all. I'll take it, especially if it allows me to slip out of this conversation. I didn't realize how much time had gone by. I try to run through my usual morning routine as quickly as possible. I check my watch again as I leave the dorms, seeing that I'm already late. God damn it, Kenji. God damn it, Kenji. Fortunately, the rest of the day goes by more smoothly, and after classes are over, I head to meet with Shizune again. Behind the school, I catch her leaning against a completed stand with parts of it still flecked with bits of paper and tape, remnants of signs from the last time it was used. Absent-mindedly spinning a nail in her hand, she hasn't noticed me yet. The temptation to sneak up on her is unbearable. Years of watching foreign wildlife documentaries have prevented me from this. I'm downwind, conditions are favorable. However, the more I think about it, the more it seems like a bad idea, because she will fuck you up. If I get caught halfway, I'll look like an idiot, and if she doesn't know it's me, I could end up with an injury. Either way, I'll also look a little insensitive, so it'd probably be best to not try anything funny, as disappointing as it is. I walk in front of her, startling her a little. Why so surprised? Did I catch you slacking off? No, I was taking a break. You don't look like you even broke a sweat. That's some break there, Monsieur President. I don't know why that was French, I don't know. Shizune's eyes dart back and forth momentarily, and I think I managed to fluster her. There's exasperation on her face, a little tension as well, but she can't back down. That'd be unthinkable for her. Her fingers dance across each other impatiently. You're acting competitive today. Are you trying to get my blood boiling? Do you want to make it a contest? We'll race to see who can construct the most stalls by sundown. No, I'm teasing you. That's okay. It's not a real student council if you can't tease a student council president a little. You agree, don't you? That isn't in the student council charter, so it isn't true. There is no charter. At least I don't think there is. The only thing they pledge loyalty to are a stack of takeout menus. Anyway, it is good you are finally here, even though you could have been here earlier. Pick up a hammer and we'll resume where we left off. As we work assembling stalls again, I suddenly realize it's really much less work than I would have expected. In fact, according to Shizune, we should be done by the end of the day with a little luck. The last time I did something like this for them, it took her, Misha, and myself almost 4 days to do it. It can't just be my imagination. You know, this doesn't seem like that much work. Because it isn't. That idea leaves me wanting a little more. Knowing that it isn't the best, Shizune puts down her hammer to elaborate. It would be impossible for 2 people to do that much work in less than a week. Truth is, I don't dismantle half the stalls, I just store them somewhere else. Actually, more like I hide them in plain sight. She waggles a finger mischievously. But that's a secret. It's not proper to reveal the tricks of the trade. Ah, just like every other government. Cutting corners. You're not a magician. Winking, she takes out 2 plastic containers from her bag, then puts them down on a nearby board before raising her hand slightly as to say, "Ta-da! I made lunch today for both of us. You can have this one. The food shifted in my bag, and now some of it is mixed together." She hands me one of the containers. I open it. It looks delicious, if a little simple. She hands me a pair of chopsticks, as if she had just remembered to. And I eat what looks like some grilled beef. It's very tasty. You don't like your food touching other food? I do not. You're very picky. Sometimes I mix my food on my own, but not always, and not everything. I don't like it when it's done for me. What is important is the choice. She points decisively to emphasize it and breaks her chopsticks apart to eat her own meal. As I continue to eat, I notice 2 things. The first is that almost everything I'm eating besides the rice is fried. Even the vegetables are fried. There's so much meat. Does she eat this kind of stuff all the time? I wonder how she managed to stay so thin in spite of it. Damn girl, she is. The second thing I notice is that I can't talk to her while eating. Talking with your mouth full is a little rude anyway, but with your hands holding our chopsticks and bowls, communications between us is impossible, just like yesterday. Even though we're spending time together, even though I took time to learn sign language, it feels like I'm talking to her less. Despite that, it also feels like I'm understanding her more. I hear the sound of drama. I hear the sound of something tapping against one of the stands. I look up to see Lily standing off to my side, feeling her way around with her cane. Hi. I now only catch myself before I can say, "Didn't see you there." "Oh, Hisao, is that you, my dear? I thought I smelled something delicious and traitorous cooking, and I wondered who it might be." "Well, what is she saying?" I decided to move my hands parallel, saying something completely different to Lily. That's be why Misha just signs everything all the time. A bit sillier, but it seems like it would simplify things a lot. Sune tints her fingers delightedly at my translation, as if from hearing a joke. All of this food was cooked hours ago, but for someone as slow as yourself, who can't even turn in a piece of paper without being a week late, I guess your perception of time would have to be a little different. That's not very nice, Shizune. A frown crosses Lily's face in response to reply something she didn't hear. Sorry, just having a late lunch here. The student council president cooked everything. Is the student council president here right now? She's right here. I apologize, I didn't notice. Normally her level of presence is much higher. I was not aware the student council serves lunch outdoors. Why wasn't I invited? I think it'd be good to have enough free time to be able to do things like this, however. Oh, snap! Oh! What did she think? If I were to invite you anywhere, you would just show up late. But Yune's words are outside Lily's perceptions, a fact that is by the second increasingly maddening to her. Translate for me completely, please. What polite phrasing. It's a shame she essentially asked me to let her fully release the dogs of war. Still, I can't just do nothing. The feeling of being unable to even respond, to be understood is so isolating. She would never forgive me. I'll just try and soften her words a little. Well, actually, this was all cooked a while ago. Really? That's nice. Turn over here. It's very disrespectful for not looking at the person you're speaking to. That isn't the way a prim and proper lady should conduct herself. However, what I'm saying is really what Shizune is saying. She doesn't like it when people don't look in her direction when she's trying to make a point. She's to the right of my voice. Although in this case I can understand why Lily wouldn't. It's a very awkward situation, and it's daunting being the sole conduit for dialogue between the two of them. Truthfully, I had forgotten what happened last time they butted heads like this. It's clear Shizune remembers, and Lily's being pretty hostile herself in her own way. I'm sorry, such formality slipped my mind completely. I forgot that the student council president is the type of person who would demand such respect and adherence to the rules at all times. Almost as if she were a Nazi. I suppose student government requires you to keep a tight ship. Then again, she certainly has time for her own fun as well, so that must not be completely true. Student council is a dictatorship, not a zero-sum game. Shizune points at Lily with her finger out like a barrel of a gun and snaps her fingers explosively, causing her to flinch and become visibly upset. Is that so? Then what makes it more impressive is that you have been part of it for so long, playing as though it were one. I admire the fact you are so tenacious. To manage it all, you must be so responsible as well. Not as much as I would like to be. You can't complain about yourself, though, can you? You're very responsible. Actions like requesting a deadline to be extended, and then running all the way through to the next deadline? That's the very model of responsibility, I say sarcastically. Shizune's happy to hear that, but apparently you're pretty responsible yourself, she says. Does she really? More or less. Lily doesn't seem very happy. We're not holding a cookout, we're just taking a little lunch break. We're actually out here building stalls for the festival. You wouldn't know, since you never go outside. Did you run out of tea, Schweinhund? Are you going into town, shopping? No, as I said before, I was just passing by. In case you did not hear, I would hate to interrupt the student council president. You're not doing anything now, but you must both be very busy. In any case, Hisao, I'm sure that the student council president will be able to find or make work of the both of you if she needs to. I'll devour you! We're very busy. Devour is a hard word. I'm surprised I can read it. This isn't time to celebrate, though, or not over that. Instead, it looks like we might... Instead, it looks like they might... I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard. Wait. Instead, it looks like they might stop squabbling. I'll drink to that. Have a nice day, Hisao. Goodbye, student council president. Thanks, you too. Stay classy, whore! As soon as Lily leaves, Shizune dives into the remains of her lunch as quickly as possible, as if each bite she shovels away is a means of forgetting any of this ever happened. When she is done, she heads right back to hammering in the same mindset. It's good that she's working off her frustration, but now it doesn't look like she's in any mood to talk to me anymore. About 2 hours later, she stops, having mowed through the rest of the stalls non-stop in that time. It still feels hard to approach her, and to feel about how easily a conversation can die. After it took so long to be able to get her alone and speak to her directly, it almost hurts. Wow, pushy. Your translation was good. Really? First class! She punctuates it with a thumbs up. For your level. There aren't many deaf people in this school, and sign languages classes have been on the edge of getting cut for a while now. I'm sure you don't have many classmates, am I right? If you're only learning sign language now, your speed is going to be limited. That is why interest in it wanes, because it takes more effort than normal just to communicate. I imagine it's the same with all languages. In such a situation, conversations in sign language are less than they would inherently be to start with. I don't understand that word. Less what? Spontaneous. Misha is the only person who can really capture it. Yeah, that's definitely true. Her expression changes for a second. It changes back too quickly to digest, but I get the feeling that isn't how it's meant to that this isn't supposed to be pursued. What I really want to know more about is, why do you and Lily fight so much? Tensing a little, visibly frowning, Shizune tenses her fingers and overlays them repeatedly as if shuffling an invisible deck of cards. 2 fights that you know of aren't worth calling so much. If you had been there last year, then you could say that. I had heard it'd been a rough year, something about how you tried to institute a badge policy. Haha, surprise! Well, we want to hear more about that later, definitely, but you don't really like Lily very much, do you? Don't dodge my question. I'm not dodging anything! She was part of the student council last year. We didn't get along very well. She wanted to keep things going like the old student council did. The old student council was just so ineffectual, it was stupid and insulting. I wanted to do more, and we had a fight. A lot of fights. She couldn't do anything on time, yes. Then, she said that what I wanted to do was meaningless. Just extra busy work. Does this look like meaningless busy work to you? God damn it! I don't know, like, I keep losing the accent and turning it into stuff. It's not even a good accent to start with. Shizune gestures around us. What's really meaningless is that the student council doesn't do anything. Weak, lazy, and boring. Especially boring! I couldn't get excited over sitting in a room with nothing to do. That's just a waste of time. Why would I even be there? I didn't get my blood flowing. Arguing with her does that. I smell lesbians. If she could have been that motivated before, she wouldn't have to put so much dedication to being my enemy. But she shows that much spirit. It's not a complete loss. At least it's something. It's still exciting. I see. And what about the badge thing? She laughs, covering her mouth with her hand as to hide it. Her laughter is the only thing she regularly tries to hide. That was just a joke. Having a little fun sometimes is important too. The next day I end up having to hunt around a bit at the start of lunch when I find my usual vending machine near the dormitory building just sold out of my usual favourite canned coffee. The detour takes longer than I expected. Things have been so hectic lately, they even take some time for me to register why something smells different as I walk through the school gardens back to the cafeteria. The grass has been freshly mowed. The realization makes me pause and watch for a bit. The odd group of students chatting or playing around on the grass, and a couple of teachers conversing on the path ahead, make for a very idyllic scene. Unfortunately, the feeling of imminent dread starts creeping up on me after a while. The feeling that I'm not alone. Hey, Hisao, is that you? Want to help me finish the formula? Yeah, it's me. I guess I should be happy it's him and not, say, a slasher. Kenji begins talking as if he's having a conversation with someone other than me. Knew it, that haircut is unmistakable. No normal person would have a haircut like that. Unconsciously, I start touching the back of my head. Once I realize what I'm doing, I feel insulted, yet too surprised to even get indignant about it. Yeah, what are you doing here? Measuring the temperature. Winter will come soon. Prepare yourselves. Winter is coming. It'll be too cold for women to go out and have their sex in the city-style power lunches, followed by obstructive human wave formation walks in crowded urban areas. When this happens, man will be able to walk the streets unfettered once again and reclaim what is his heritage. In order to prepare for that day, I've been eating nothing but pizzas for the past week to store energy. Okay. That's what bears do. So, there is much we can learn from the bear. Kenji nods, empathetically agreeing with himself. Okay, so check this shit out. I was in town today buying milk. They had a new clerk, some hipster girl with a baseball cap with 2 hockey sticks on it. I call her Hipster Hockey Baseball Hat Girl. I noticed the milk didn't have a price tag, so I told her to get over there and label that milk for future generations. He was in town today? He must have cut his morning classes. I want to scold him, but his verbal torrent prevents me from getting a word in. She told me not to bother her because she was sick. Sick? Sick? We live in a society here. You can't just opt out of human interaction because you're sick. Do you know how much effort it takes for me to even get up in the morning? I still do, though. And I got up that morning to go down there and buy milk. Not to have my vital questions brushed aside by some hipster doofus college girl who wears a hockey baseball cap to work. Indoors! Anyway, I was just trying to uphold the integrity of her products. A milk carton without a price tag? When I see something like that, it just leads to questions. Important questions. It's her job to answer them, damn it! That's the problem with women. They have no sense of duty. I get diarrhea a lot. God fucking damn it. You know, frequent diarrhea is bad. Maybe she should stop drinking so much milk. I can't do that. It's what allows me to maintain my awesome strength. And in this world, a man's strength is the only thing that can't be browbeaten out of him by an increasingly pussy-whipped society. I can't believe I'm saying these words. That's why I walk around leaving open jaws of olives everywhere. Sometimes just to show that I can. Do you refrigerate after opening? What, man? I don't know. That's not important. You have to refrigerate after opening. Even elementary school kids know that. They can't get the jar open in the first place. It doesn't matter. That's true. I'm a genius. He self-assuredly rubs his chin, which is something I imagine scientists did until I met Mewtwo and he's tremendously let down. Anyway, I can't go to the store again, so it's clearly been compromised by bitches. Unless I disguise myself. Maybe change to a different pair of glasses. Worst disguise ever. Isn't working flawlessly all these years. I don't even need glasses to see. They're for effect. Also to protect my identity. I'm like Superman. Worst disguise ever. I'm telling you, when people see my school ID, they can't even recognize me. Really? Let me see. Can't do that. I can't go and show my ID to everyone. It was made long ago, in a different time. I had hippie hair. While I'm trying to imagine that, Kenji takes his glasses off. What? 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 He squints to off his face, which makes him look even more tired than he already does. He was right, he does look very different. Kind of like he hasn't slept in years. Not different enough for it to be a good disguise, though. You need sleep. Nah. You look like you need it. No way! These are just the eyes of a man who has seen things. A shaman's eyes. Terrible things that you cannot imagine. Like when I made a ship in a bottle and my mum sat on it. There was blood and shreds of floral print everywhere. That's what life experience is. Kenji doesn't seem very horrified, even though I think this is actually the first thing he's told me about himself that could have actually been legitimately traumatic. He's also talking about 30 degrees to my left, so I guess his blindness is real. I wave a hand in front of him anyway, to little effect. Man, I hope you realize I'm just joking. I laugh, pretending that I did. Somehow looking at him in the eyes is more difficult than usual. Want some trivia? People with small eyes wear big glasses. I read that somewhere. It's because it makes your eyes look less beady. Really? I didn't know that. Just record scratch. Ugh, Kenji, you fucking psychopath.